Is allergies just like a 12-month of the year thing now? Is that?
I mean, yeah,
it's not seasonal anymore.
Wow. Kind of combine that with the Canadian wildfire smoke and shit too.
Is that back? I know it was back like a day, but I haven't.
I don't know. I just remember them saying recently, "It's gonna keep on coming. Get used to it." Some of these fires never stop burning. Wasn't it winter up there?
Jesus fucking Christ, Canada. What are you doing?
Rake your fucking forest.
Yeah, rake your forest.
Right? Send your orphans out to rake the forest, you fucks.
Yeah.
All right. This week on the Red Eye Report, we talk about the Danish explorer and candidate for the most interesting man in the world, Peter Freuchen. With me this week is adventurous Ashtray. He's been on many polar expeditions. Wait a second. Sorry, I misread that. Ashtray has been on many bipolar expeditions.
Ah, right.
He's got the scars
Going
to
where
prove
no
it.
man has gone before and not been shamed.
We also have Mountaineering
Yeah,
Mystic. He hasn't climbed any mountains. He is the fucking mountain. Fucking deal with it. Next to him is Trailblazing Teddy. He's blazed constantly. I don't know where the
Falls
trail
off the
came
trail.
from.
Yeah.
Finally, there's me, Odyssey Oracle. I once punched a mermaid in the mouth and fucked your mom. So I guess that makes me like Odysseus. Buckle
My
up,
mom's a
people.
mermaid?
This is the Red Eye Report. That'd be a fucking weird diss. Your mom's a fucking mermaid.
Yeah, I punched her in the throat.
Ooh.
Punched her right in the gills.
All right, before we get going here, we have the weekly benefit event for the Dane County Humane Society. Pause for the cause. And this week's pet is Sally the Spiny Lumpsucker.
A lump sucker?
Yeah, a lumpsucker. Previous
I don't even
owner
know what they look like.
took advantage of Sally's lump-sucking ability, pimped her out to the neighborhood in the 2018 Atlanta Hawks.
She's traumatized.
Yeah. The Hawks finished 29-53 in 2018, so I guess Sally was doing a good job. But God bless the Dane County Humane Society for taking Sally in.
Right, and not judging her.
Right.
And her promiscuity. Somebody's got to
Again,
suck
what the
those
fuck
lumps.
is a lump sucker?
So I think it's a fish.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. I think it might be like one of those fish that you put on the fucking side of the aquarium or something.
Oh, like an algae eater?
Yeah,
Sucks
maybe
on the
that's
glass?
a fucking. Maybe they're not actually called an algae eater. I don't know. Here, let's fucking Google that.
I'm just
shit.
going to Google lump sucker.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Taking
looks like
one,
it is
too.
a fish.
Kind
Kinda-
of looks like a fucking puffer fish or some shit.
Yep.
Yeah. That's actually a picture of Sally right there. Straight.
She's seen some shit.
Yeah, this is a
Look at her.
live stream from the Dane County Humane Society.
Yeah, right? She's still in shock from her past trauma. She
Right
isn't even
from
moving.
the Hawks. Man, when
Yeah,
when you
right?
got a locker room
Jeez.
full of dudes, you've seen
Right?
some shit.
Just smells like beer and vomit.
All right.
Well, good luck, Sally.
So moving on to Peter Freuchen.
Another lump sucker.
I wouldn't say that to his face. Here is a picture of Peter Freuchen. This man was 6'7".
Looks like
7. So good luck if you call this guy a lump sucker.
Yeah, right? It looks like he'd fuck you up. Got that kind of like 1,000-yard stare in his eyes.
Well, he definitely saw some shit. Bring up image here. We'll get to some pictures of his
Vagrant
his stuff.
Viking.
Yeah, so the Vagrant Viking is a book about his life that he wrote. He published it in 1953. He died in 1957, so it really kind of captured the full kind of swing of his life. I guess he was such an ugly ass baby that his mother would bring their big dog along to just ward people away from the the stroller so they wouldn't ask questions about this fucking ugly baby.
What kind of potato is that?
Oh my god, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, so he went to the University of Copenhagen, and I think he might have started doing like medicine or some shit, and he's like, I don't know, fuck that. He ended up graduating with a degree in philosophy, so he did graduate. And he
Without a
realized,
job.
though, he's like, this isn't really the life for me. And so this is in Denmark. I guess that's an important detail here. And there were a number of Danish explorers, and one of these Danish explorers was this dude, Ludwig Milius Eriksson. So he was kind of an active explorer. And he actually was, Freuchen was able to get on his expedition to Greenland. So they wanted to map Greenland at that time. So they went out to Greenland on the Denmark in 1906. And it was a piece of shit boat. And it only made it 3 days. And it had to be towed back into port. And Erickson tried to say, he's like, oh man, we hit this nasty storm, and all the other fucking boats in the area, they're like, no, it was fine. You just have a piece of shit boat. That was a bit of a non-starter, but eventually they made it out on their expedition to Greenland. But they had to spend the winter in the Arctic. Once they got out there, they got out there at the end of August. Had to spend the winter in the ice with the Inuits. So, this was a pretty intense thing. Freuchen actually, he really kind of was fascinated by the Inuit people. And so Erickson went out with 2 other guys on an expedition on a dog sled team, and they ended up dying, actually. The expedition, when they finally got back, was deemed a success, though, because the maps and journals that they were able to take, Erickson and like the navigator or whatever, ended up being valuable. So they got back in 1908. So Freuchen, he's back, and he's trying to find, he got that taste of the adventure. So he wanted to get back out.
Plus, he was still an ugly ass baby.
Right, he's still a giant 6'7". I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's kind of ugly.
He's almost like
out
a
in the
Rasputin.
fucking elements all the time too, so that doesn't really help, your skin too much. So in 1909, Frederick Cook actually reached the North Pole, and magazines around the world, they were like, hey, we want a journalist, that can cover this shit. So, Freuchen, he wasn't a dumb fuck, he graduated from university and he had these skills. So they're like, hey, will you be a journalist? So they tested him out, and he ended up passing the test. They're like, okay, that's good enough. Now you can write articles about these Arctic explorers. So Freuchen's like, okay, right on. So that's how he was able to pay the bills. Then in 1910, he finally got another expedition that he was able to go up to Greenland with this Knud Rasmussen, who ended up being a really good friend of his. So what they wanted to do is they wanted to set up a trading post up in the northerly most trading post, which would be Thule Station. So you guys probably have seen like the Thule brand, Thule. They make like boots and shit like that. I don't know if they make other stuff. So yeah, here is fucking Freuchen, and then here's Rasmussen. to his left. He was he's a fucking giant dude. Big, ugly, giant dude. So they went out there and, it wasn't fucking much, but it was something. And it was this was the only way that the Inuits could trade at that time, on a reliable trading post. So they were able to bring in furs and shit like that and trade it for essentials for their family. So it was actually really valuable for them. And then, of course, those furs could go back to Europe, where they were very popular. So he actually ended up marrying an Inuit woman, Navarana.
It's a cool name.
Navarana. Pictures here.
Like, is it cool that we're just saying Inuit like that? I don't know. Is that a racial slur?
No, it's the people.
I think the people. Yeah, why would it be a racial slur?
Calm down. It was a fucking joke.
How fucking high? How high are you?
So, this is Navarana.
Not high enough.
This is.
They look happy there.
Yeah. So I think he was super fucking happy out here. I mean, he was definitely in his element. Here's this fucking adventure guy, and he loved the fucking Inuit people. He said they were the happiest people he'd ever.
Now, would this be in the 1910s, 1920s?
So he married her in 1911.
Okay.
She ended up dying
before
in 1921.
The Great War.
Yeah, before the Great War. She ended up dying in 1921 from the Spanish flu, which is shitty. They wouldn't allow him to bury his wife in the church cemetery. So he had to sneak in and fucking bury her in the cemetery himself. Yeah. Pretty fucked up.
Wait, the church, because she was an Inuit, wouldn't allow her. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
At first, I thought maybe it was an Inuit tradition that she isn't supposed to be buried, but
yeah, no, it was the church.
So he snuck in.
Yeah, he's like, okay,
look at this
fuck
freshly
you
dug
guys.
grave with no gravestone.
So yeah, they 1912. They were doing some more expedition type stuff, trying to map out something called the Peary Channel to see if it existed. It didn't. And really just kind of, the northern parts of Greenland, which are fucking very, very cold, very inhospitable areas. So, yeah, World War I. So now he's starting to establish a family. And Rasmussen, he's like, hey, let's do some more exploring. And Freuchen's like, hey, man, I got to fucking take care of my family. He's got kids and shit. So he was doing that during the World War I. Even though Denmark was neutral during the war, supplies around the world were hard to come by. And I'm sure they were really hard to come by when you're in the middle of fucking bumfuck Arctic Circle, Egypt. So he, in 1918, he did take his wife and kids to Copenhagen just so they could see it. So she was able to see it before she died. And in 1919, he actually served as a technical advisor on a Danish film about Arctic exploration. That will actually come in handy later on. So, 1921, wife dies. He's like, okay, well, fuck it. I'm going on another expedition. I don't know what happened to his kids. If he was just like...
Left him with daycare.
Yeah, because they were only...
Your
probably only
died,
like
so
10...
smothered them.
Yeah, the Inuit people probably, they have like that. They probably all take care of the kids and shit, so maybe it wasn't that big of a deal.
He probably drowned.
Yeah, they died.
That's what I would do.
You're just dead weight.
Yeah.
But he's like, okay, fuck it. Let's go on an expedition. So he went on an expedition with Rasmussen. And this was actually to go into the Canadian Arctic and study the, far reaches of the Canadian Arctic and study the Inuit people and try to understand their culture and where their language came from and all this good stuff. And it ended up producing a 10-volume work, but it was a little tough for Big Freuchen. So he was separated from the group during a snowstorm, and he ended up going into this crevasse and fell asleep into the crevasse during the snowstorm. And he woke up to find that he had been snowed in. And he started trying to dig his way out, and he couldn't get his way out. He was really in there. So he's like, fuck, I don't know what to do. So he remembered seeing like frozen dog shit, from the dog sleds. He's like, okay, I wonder if I could do something with my own shit. So he took a huge fucking shit, let it freeze. Well, first he kind of fashioned it into a chisel, and then let it freeze.
Chisel?
A shit chisel. It chiseled his way out of this fucking crevasse with a fucking shit chisel.
With a frozen turd.
Yeah, with a frozen turd.
That is not sanitary.
So,
right?
That's
And
where we're
then
like, how
died of
could the
wheelchair.
shit chisel be stronger than the snow and ice itself? That sounds like he's full of
Yeah,
toys.
that's- might sound like
I mean, some
Yeah.
Penn State
Tall tales. type
anthropologists, they actually did a test where it wasn't exactly the same. They made
Fucking science dorks would be like, can we
right.
replicate
So
this
they,
shit
they
chisel?
they tried to make knives.
No one's written a paper on this.
because there was a different story about like using your shit to make a knife to fucking skin a dog or some shit.
Wow.
So they tried to skin an animal with a shit knife, and it just melted and just left streaks all over the place.
Oh my
Shit.
god.
But that's not the same thing. You're not fucking, he was just using it on ice, and it was a chisel. It wasn't a knife. It wasn't like a bladed, implement. So I don't know. Maybe
Well, my point being is how frozen that shit would get would be based on the temperature of the ice around it. I don't think it's going to be any stronger than the fucking ice he's trying to chisel out of.
I don't know. Maybe he's got a lot of fiber in his diet.
True. Right? Got a lot of Metamucil.
Probably not, though, being up in the Arctic. I think that's kind of a problem, is they don't get a lot of
Yeah,
fiber.
right? You're eating fucking seal all day
Right.
or whatever.
So he was in here, and his left leg got frozen solid during this whole thing.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And he
Yeah,
dragged
to
himself,
chisel with that.
yeah, back to the fucking village. Gangrene set in. They stopped it from being able to spread, but his toes were all fucking shot, and eventually, like, the bones were sticking out and shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So he got sick of seeing his own fucking shitty toes. They took a pair of pliers and just fucking ripped them off.
Just cut the
Jesus.
fucking leg off. What the fuck, dude?
He ended up getting his foot amputated entirely eventually. But after that, Arctic exploration was done for him because he had a fucking peg leg. So I got back to Denmark in 1924, and he got married to his second wife, who is this lady here. What's her fucking name? Magdalene Vang Lauridsen. She came from money. She came from, I think, margarine. Like her family was into margarine or some shit.
Really?
Yeah.
So
She's
weird
part of the
story.
margarine
Not
trust.
even
Yeah.
real butter, just fake shit.
Fucking
yeah,
big
margarine
margarine. So yeah, got back. Started writing though, because he couldn't do any exploring. He ended up writing 30 novels and memoirs over his life. He was, writing for these magazines. He also became a technical advisor for Arctic-related movie projects, and was involved with the 1933 film Eskimo, which won an Oscar. It was based off of 2 of his books, and he even starred in the movie. So that's actually Freuchen, kind of the Jesus guy, holding on to fucking. They really made him look a lot better in this, holding on to that woman.
That looks like an old pulp novel cover.
Yeah, just kind of looking at some of these old like movie covers, because 1933. That's pretty old. Trying to find another image with him in it. Yeah, look at how trippy, like Esquimaux. I don't know what the fuck that is. But it just looks kind of weird, compared to today's standards. Anyway, but there he is. Here's another one with him, with the Eskimo guy gonna spear him. Yeah, that won an Oscar, based on 2 of his books. So during this time, though, Hitler was rising in power, and Freuchen was part Jewish. So Freuchen decided to try to do something. So he's trying to get Jews out of Germany, and get them to Denmark. But then that became, more and more difficult. And eventually the Germans, there was an occupation in Denmark. So what does Freuchen do? He fucking joins the resistance during that time.
Yeah, he does.
And yeah, so he
It's
kept
like the Danish Forrest Gump, or what the fuck?
I don't know. This dude fucking did so many things. So he was in the resistance. He was still helping Jewish refugees. He participated in the sabotage missions. He was arrested twice by the Gestapo, beaten and tortured. The second time they threw him in a labor camp and they were going to execute him, but he escaped. They got him out of the labor camp.
Charles Bronson.
And he's got a peg leg this whole time.
Right. It said that his friends somehow were able to help him get out. Didn't super get into the details of this labor camp, but pretty much it was a death sentence. They sent you outside of the camp and they shot you. And he was able to get out. So he made it to Sweden at that time, and after the war, he's like, fuck this shit, I'm moving to the U.S. So he moved to the U.S. He divorced his wife. He hadn't been with her for a while because she was probably a Nazi sympathizer.
She's on board.
Right.
Nazi slut.
So he went to the U.S., and then he married his third wife, Dagmar Cohn, who was a fashion illustrator. I thought I had a picture of her around. I think that's Dagmar there. Yeah, Dagmar Cohn. She was like a fashion illustrator. She did shit for, I don't know, like fucking New Yorker or whatever the equivalent was at that time. And he worked for MGM Studios. And did consulting for them. And then in 1956, he appeared on the quiz show, The $64,000 Question.
Wow.
Well, Hal, our next guest.
This guy just, I mean,
He's fucking everything, yeah.
right. So here it is. It actually, this is, you can look this up on YouTube. And it's kind of interesting. They're just fucking asking him questions about the sea and shit.
The early aspect of like
He was
whoring
angry
out
that
your own,
day, my friend.
like whoring out your own celebrity. Like it's like some of these people on like Dancing with the Stars or whatever. It's
Right.
just like they haven't been relevant for 10 plus years, and it's just like, oh, I'll go on this quiz show.
Right.
It's like that's a pretty early on. Like I'll just capitalize on my.
Well, I don't think he chose to do that necessarily.
It was his manager, right?
He
It's always
was
the manager.
legendary. So
Who's that chick from the Jersey Shore? The
Oh.
small
Snooki.
idiot one.
Snooki.
Yeah,
Snooki.
they call
She was
that
the one the most
Snooki
popular.
effect nowadays.
Yeah.
right.
She's probably still making money off of that shit. Just
Right,
being
right.
Snooki.
So he won. The
Oh, he
show,
did, huh?
$64,000 question, and then he died the following year, and his ashes were brought back to Thule. I don't know what the fuck. How do you say?
I always thought it was Thule, but I fucking
Thule,
know
maybe it's
All the
Thule.
experts
I
here
don't
on the Red
fucking
Eye
know.
Report.
Thule. It could be fucking.
Yeah, and
It's
there,
Danish. It could be Kirkenbjergstad.
right. Yeah, there you
Flurgen.
go. That is the life of fucking Peter Freuchen. The Vagrant Viking. That's something, if you're interested. I don't know if there's like an audio book or whatever, but super fucking interesting dude. Definitely had a full life. Pretty cool.
One of the last adventures.
All right. Moving on to the What's Sexy, where we tell you what is sexy in the fucking world. And Mystic, Frumpy Trumpy.
Yeah. So remember where you were on May 30th, 2024, ladies and gentlemen? It was the day that an ex-president was convicted on 34 counts of something.
Yeah,
I
I guess
it doesn't matter.
I haven't
Well-
even been paying attention enough to know like
You gotta
what
say it's kind of a big deal if you think
It's-
about it like that.
what is it even like. What are the charges? I don't even know what they are.
The charges are.
Go ahead, Teddy.
From what I understand, he used some shit for his campaign funds. He took campaign
That's why it's illegal.
Campaign fund money to pay this shit off.
Yeah,
with it.
and they
So
set up
that's
shell
probably-
companies and,
Okay.
you know, kind of like paying through multiple layers to not make it be
Yeah,
seen.
to make it right,
Okay.
right.
kind of
make you
launder the
pay.
money out of the
He laundered
campaign.
it to pay her off.
He
Yeah.
couldn't even fucking use his own money.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I probably wouldn't have gone to court. It would, you know, people
Yeah,
would
if he
still
would have
find
used
out
his
about
own
it,
money,
but-
I don't think it could have gone to court, right? Because, I mean, that isn't illegal.
Well, and
If he
also
uses the money, he
these,
can
all
have
these
gone to court.
layers of obfuscation
Mhm.
were, in a sense, because he was trying. It was all, I guess, the whole case was the point that was like, it's because we're campaigning right now.
Hmm.
Right,
Right.
right.
We
That's why.
don't. We want
Right,
this to go
right.
away, and we don't want anyone to know what we're making it go away. But it got out anyways.
Right.
Like it was
It
like
always gets-
conspiracy to commit campaign fraud or some shit like
Mhm.
that. But there was multiple felonies, like a lot. Like I said, 34 different charges. I don't give a fuck what they were. I just love watching him walk out of the courtroom with that slumpy, like Eeyore fucking.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, it's a witch hunt. Fucking, I just, god damn it, dude. Just somebody put him out of his fucking misery. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
but
going to be
funny.
really interesting to see what happens next.
Yeah, he's gonna win the election and fucking ruin the country. It's what's
I
gonna
mean,
happen.
I have no
Die
idea.
in office when he's 144 because they'll keep him alive.
Like
somehow.
everybody, just cinch your hoods up, hold on to your pants.
Yeah.
Unfucking real. Anyway, that's it. Yeah, sorry.
Next up, we have Ashtray going in blind to live music. DOG.
Yeah, this kind of this band, I would consider him kind of like remind me of like a hippie version, a hippier version of Leonard Skinner.
Really? Never heard
Yeah,
of that.
well, you know, they would go on some like long fucking jams, but it was just one of those. More the what sexy point is. It's like whether this band's your flavor or not, but when a friend is like, "Hey, we're going to check out this band like that we're really into, you should come." This was like after the meat raffle last Sunday, and being the holiday weekend, it's like, all right, sure. And it was a fun fucking kind of like old school bluegrass rock band that it's just when you take a chance and like fuck kind of going in blind on
Yeah.
live music, that it's real easy, I guess, just feeling older and stuff. We're just like, like I don't know them or not. Whereas shit, in my 20s all the time, I just like roll in to see like whoever these bands are.
Right.
But had a great time, and yeah, it's a reminder that if someone offers you to come see some live music you don't know nothing about, take the chance. It can be really fun.
There you go. Next up, we have Teddy with nothing.
Oh shit! It's child labor. Mine is child labor.
Child labor.
So sexy.
Yeah, got my son cutting the grass, bro.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
Yeah, he's on it.
So he's got a push mower that you got him on, or what?
It's a push mower. It's an electric mower.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a really
because...
good for kids to use too, because they just shut off, right?
Yeah. But yeah, he's doing a good job. He's not bitching about it. It's
That's the key. About it.
Yeah, you can just say, "Hey, it's like a video game."
Give him a couple more months. Yeah, by August, he's like, "Fuck this lawn." God.
So are you paying him any money or anything?
Yeah,
does your son get an allowance?
He does get an allowance.
He does or doesn't?
He does, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, who here had an allowance growing up? Any of you?
I did, yeah.
For
I did, but it was
odd
super
jobs.
inconsistent. Yeah.
It wasn't regular.
I got no allowance. When I started as maybe as a teenager, I would sometimes get paid for fucking big jobs. I'd help around the farm. Otherwise, it's chores.
Exactly, dude. I got room and board.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
We had to throw firewood down into the basement.
Oh, yeah.
Every 3 or 4 months, because we'd get like a cord of wood. You throw it down fucking to
right. I
feed the
remember
that was my everyday all the way up through high school.
Yeah, I mean, my dad would give me extra money for that, but like other than that, I had to fucking whatever I did. That was just fucking.
Did you have to put the wood in the furnace in the morning?
No, luckily he did all that just because he didn't trust me.
Right. He doesn't want his kids to burn the fucking house.
How trusting my mom was. Go, Craig Joe, fucking fix the fire.
Yeah. But I did fucking a lot of shoveling and a lot of fucking lawn mowing with push mowers and all whatever. Man.
Yeah,
I know we're getting into the chore Olympics here. Back in my day,
right? It's the walk uphill both ways.
I had to carry both grandparents over my shoulders to take them to the bathroom.
Right. Now kids, they have drones that do it for them.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
Yeah, my daughters have always had chores, man. One of them does the laundry. One of them does like the dishes in the kitchen. It's nice. Yeah.
That's good.
My wife cleans the bathroom. I don't do shit.
You get sucked as a kid, but also it's like I'm glad I was made to do that because it's just prepares you that this is the kind of shit that's just got to get done all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
That mess is always gonna come back.
I'm thinking about getting some chickens, maybe putting the potato on chicken duty.
Chicken duty.
You take care of those chickens.
Right.
Round them up.
We're eating Mrs. Hen.
Right.
Meanwhile, daycare is have you been abusing your baby? And it's no, the chickens were just pecking his head.
Yeah, I mean, and plus we're in central Wisconsin. There's all kinds of fucking farms and shit, so they're probably used to that.
Oh yeah, that's true. You're not in Madison.
All right. And also brakes. I had to my brake pads. I go to pull in for this little VFW brat fry. My goddamn brakes are squealing like a motherfucker. I'm like, Jesus. So I had to pull off to the other side of the parking lot. I'm like, man, this is a little embarrassing. So I was able to get some pads from O'Reilly's, order them online, and then pick them up after work and put them on yesterday. And it wasn't a train wreck. It actually went fine. For once, a car thing.
That's one of those man things. I've never actually changed my own brakes, though.
They're pretty easy. Well, depends on
you got the tools you need to do.
Yeah, if you have the tools, that makes a huge difference. And then also, how bad are these brakes? Are they fucking rusted to shit? I mean, that makes things a lot.
Or the rotor and everything else has to get
replaced. How to do with the car is too. Yeah. What kind of car is it?
It's a 2019 Hyundai Elantra.
Yeah, I guarantee you the brakes on my car are a lot harder. It's an 04 fucking Mercury.
Fuck that shit. That's
you know what I'm saying? That shit's old and fucking dilapidated. Yours just pop right off.
Yeah, you just pop off. Right.
So my 2008 Mazda, I did all this shit myself. My 2008 Mazda, Like you had to have this special tool to get your fucking. It was like a cube you put on the hip bridge, and like my father, he has every fucking tool in the road, and he knew about it. Right. And I was like, I got my tires. I was like, what the fuck is this? He's like, oh, this right, he's a special tool. And he went in this fucking giant fucking toolbox. Came out. I was like, you don't have a Mazda. Why do you have this? He's like, because you have a Mazda. I was like, awesome, cool.
Yeah.
Dad, why you copying me?
Where do you go, Dad?
Right. And yeah, like my wife's car, she's got like a Honda. That was the fronts weren't too bad. They were not great, but the back had like an like an electronic e-brake that you had to, like I had to hook a battery up to it to fucking back it off.
They're too complicated to fucking work on these.
Yeah,
things.
it was just a huge fucking pain in the fucking dick. But yeah, it is what it is.
Fucking Koreans know what they're doing, man.
Right. Yeah, the Hyundai, I've been very happy with the Hyundai. I think I might get another one of those if I have to.
Don't come to Milwaukee with that car. That shit.
Yeah, it'll get stolen. These cars, those cars could definitely get stolen. All right.
I can make a TikTok video out of it.
Right. Next up, we have Fuck What You Think, where we punch a mermaid in the mouth. First up, we have another car maintenance related thing. Mystic with tires.
Well, it's not. No, but it's a show on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
It's just a little 6-episode.
Has anyone helped you out yet?
Dumbass show.
Good one?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. They have some really funny parts with Shane Gillis and Stavros Halkias in it. But like for the most part, it's that filming style that they use, that office filming style, is getting old, especially when it's not a mockumentary. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's no film crew there. There's supposed to be. So like that film style is just weird.
Oh, so it's like pretending like there's a crew. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I don't know. It had potential. It could have been really funny. Like there's some good writing in it. There's some funny fucking.
Yeah, you could definitely see how that's a good venue for some fucking dumb shit to happen. I haven't seen a lot of stuff with that guy. People seem to really like him, that Shane Gillis guy.
Yeah, he's funny as shit.
Yeah.
He's in his SNL.
Was he the one that was fired from SNL before he
Yeah, in his SNL monologue when he came back, he said the only people you can really make fun of anymore are Italians. So in this show, like their neighbors are Italian, fucking like they own like an Italian car wash or something.
Okay.
And they call them the Wops all the time. They're like, fucking hell. They're like, Duck, man, the Wops are coming. You got to hide and shit. Fucking, it's funny. They lean really into that Italian fucking.
Oh, that's funny.
Raj.
Huh.
And Stavros Halkias guy is fucking hilarious too.
I don't know who that is.
I've been watching. I describe him as, it's almost as if a 12-year-old saw a Ron Jeremy porn and then had to describe to somebody what Ron Jeremy looked like. Like he's uglier than Ron Jeremy, fatter, but way funnier. You know what I mean? Like obvious. He's like he has the perfect comedian body. Like it's just a weird looking.
Right, like fucking who was the one who masturbated in front of the
Louis C.K.
Oh,
Louis
Louis
C.K.
C.K.
Yeah, he's kind of got a weird comedian body.
Yeah, that Stavros guy. I'll send some links, but his crowd work is fucking hilarious, dude. Like he can fucking like he'll just ask people questions and like they tell him the weirdest stories, man. He gets some fucking real weird fucking shit going on. It's funny.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah.
Tires
sucks though.
Okay, tires. Avoid it unless if you're stoned, then maybe it'll be okay. Next up, we have me with Bad Day at Work United Health hack.
Oof.
So I don't know if you guys heard about this United Health hack that happened.
No, when did it hit the news?
So I believe that was in February.
So a bit back.
Yeah, but It's the largest fucking hack that has happened in healthcare, and it caused almost $1 billion worth of damages.
Jeez.
Yeah, pretty fucking bad. And it shut down like a lot of healthcare facilities across the country and like smaller places. Basically, they couldn't like process insurance.
I heard this recently where there were places where were using just having to use paper and pen, basically.
Yeah, they couldn't get paid pretty much. Like, especially these smaller places. They were relying on it and they couldn't.
And insurance payments are probably coming every day.
Right. So it really fucked them up. But anyway, so they were doing, let's see here. Senator Ron Wyden from Oregon, his office was looking into this, and basically the guy who was the head of cybersecurity, the CISO, Stephen Martin, most notably having a chief information security officer who had not worked in a full-time cybersecurity role before he was elevated to the job in June 2023. So, I mean, this is a really fucking important, like these jobs, you're talking like 200,000 plus for these jobs. But I guarantee this guy wasn't making that. I guarantee they took somebody from fucking whatever, from their IT, and they're like, here you go. You do this job. We'll give you a little bit of a raise. And it ended up being the largest fucking hack in healthcare history. So, like, it shut a lot of shit down. Which sucks for that guy because, I mean, he really, and they recognize that. They're like, hey, this guy should not be thrown under the bus. Like, you should have been, you can't just blame this one dude.
Now, was he the one who was hacked and then they used his
No, it wasn't. So it ended up,
just he was in the role that was his responsibility.
He was in the role that oversees like fucking everything. So that's like, that's a big fucking job, especially, you see $1 billion or whatever that this thing ended up, costing. How big of a fucking operation.
Imagine that stress.
Yeah. That poor guy. I'm surprised he's still alive. Like, he didn't just fucking kill himself.
Yeah. I'd hang myself with a catheter.
Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully,
companies. Big companies like someone's been hacked, other companies been hacked. I mean, was it something that he was it clear that his inexperience led to the hacking?
Well, what ended up happening is
there are a lot of big companies that get fucking hacked. So
he got into his OnlyFans account.
Right.
And went
now,
downhill from there.
What ended up happening is there wasn't a multi-factor authentication on a server, and the hackers were able to get into that.
Right.
Okay.
So you're talking about, like big fucking, like thinking about infrastructure type stuff or whatever and making it happen. And, just in these companies like Sony or whatever, I bet their fucking CISO is making like fucking $500,000 a year or whatever. These are like really fucking important jobs, like super important jobs.
Yeah, probably more than that if it's Sony.
Right. And then this guy, they're just like, oh, whatever, just get in there. You could do it. They probably, paid him whatever, $60,000, $70,000. I don't know. But kind of shitty and crazy to see. Like, holy crap, that's what your plan was. No wonder why it fucking blew up on you.
Especially cybersecurity in a healthcare setting like that's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people, and it's
United Healthcare. Like that's fucking,
and it's not
that's
just
a gigantic company.
Yeah, the information wouldn't just be like, oh, it's street address and credit card.
Right.
Yeah, like it's fucking everything. Dude.
Health history.
Yeah, and that that's the thing is when they locked it down, so basic ransomware where they lock all the shit down, it had so many downwind effects, like can't process payments anymore. Businesses, so all these small practices went out of business. And then I haven't looked into this, but I heard that United Health,
revenue just stopped.
Right. I heard United Health then went and bought them up. They're like, which is fucking insane. I don't know, I haven't looked into that.
That's probably the people at the top who are like, you know what, let's take this tragedy as an opportunity.
Exactly. Let's scoop up all these fucking places.
That's that CEO cutthroat mentality.
Right.
Like, yep, we fucked all these small practices over, but it's now an opportunity to save those practices so we can still support the community that they are within.
Exactly. There we go. You should be a PR person for fucking United Healthcare.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We have Teddy with shitty Indian scammers.
All right, so my mother-in-law, not tech savvy. She got an older Android phone. Her account has gotten snatched off of Facebook. Some guy got on there, got on her account, changed all the login information, and she's like 66. She's older. That's how she keeps up with a lot of people. So she wants to get on. She tries to log in and stuff, and Facebook tells her she's got to use some ID or some shit to get on. So we're gonna do that tomorrow. But I was like, she's like, can I talk to somebody about this? And so I was like, maybe I don't know. So I Googled, Facebook, 24/7 phone number, customer support, and a number pops up. We call the number, and when she calls the number, it's Indian folks. I figured it was gonna be Indian folks. She explains the situation. Explains her son-in-law is helping out. Helping her out. And the guy's like, is the son-in-law there with you right now? And I was like, yeah, I'm here. And he hung up the phone. And I was like, that was fucking weird.
Yeah.
So then her phone rings again, and she answers it, and it's like, it's an Indian chick. She's like, hey, we're from Meta, and we saw that you called, and we need help getting the logo and stuff. Can you help me with that? We're like, okay, awesome, cool. We got somebody here that's fucking real. So we start talking to this chick. She's asking the questions. I'm saying it right there. And then she tells her, hey, go to, I'm going to send you a link to your number. And then you're going to go to the Play Store and download this software. And okay, so I get on the phone, I do it for her. And I look at the software, and it's a remote desktop software. And I was like, why do you need to remote access this phone?
Right.
And she's like, we have to connect you to a Facebook server to fix the problem. I was like, no, you don't.
Right.
I'm like, we can see a picture of her, so you see that it matches the fucking profile picture. You can see that fucking. And she will, sir, we have to connect the phone to the server to put extra security on the phone. And I was like, you're bullshitting. You're fucking bullshitting, bro.
Right. Like, all your passwords.
And so I searched for the same thing on my phone by the customer support number, and nothing came up. When I searched for it on her older phone, a number comes up. On my phone, when I do customer support number for Facebook, it comes up like it's a scam. If they don't have a phone number you can call. You can't call Facebook.
Yeah.
So they do all their support online and shit. You can't really call them, or you can email them, but you can't call them. And so her phone, I was like, yeah, y'all bullshitting. So I hang up the phone, and then like 2 minutes later, another person calls, and I'm like, hey, we're from Meta. I was like, let me guess, you trying to help us with a phone, but you need remote access? You lying pieces of shit, and he hung up the phone.
Wow.
and I felt bad because I was like, my mother-in-law's elderly.
Well, they don't know any better.
If I was not there, she would have downloaded this shit.
Oh my God, she totally would have.
Phone. Yeah, and
would have emptied her fucking bank account.
Yeah, I was trying to help her and and I kind of got her into the scam shit. I was like, oh my God. So while I was leaving to go home, I was like, if they call back and they're Indian, just fucking hang up. Like, you can cuss out if you want to, just hang up. Mm-hmm. There's no way they're trying to get you to get on your phone. And I had to explain to her like what remote access would do and shit. And I was like, once they get in, they can go to anything on your phone, any app, mostly banking stuff where your money is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's a really scary thing about this AI stuff too, because they can fucking just like emulate voices and stuff,
and faces and shit. It's
right. So how the fuck's an elderly person gonna? They're gonna. I totally buy that.
No. My mom's had to rebuild her fucking Facebook account before, probably because of a similar thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty
Oh my god!
depressing.
Or like
and-
dealing with like, hey, I bought this thing online and I don't know where it's at. Have you had that with your parents?
So my mother, she's the type of person. She's had her identity stolen. Like she's had like credit card stolen like 3 times. She once gave out her credit card number in an airport, like in the fucking terminal. Oh, like yelling. I was like,
wow,
yelling it. Oh my god!
Because we're in a crowded terminal, like a shit, like and I'm like, and she, my brother-in-law missed a flight, and so she had paid the ticket, so she had to pay a little bit extra money for to catch the next flight or something, or do something else. And they needed her credit card number, and she was just sitting there in the terminal. And I was like, you don't do that in an airport, Kim. And people around us like, people were like, yeah, everybody here got your credit card number. You don't do that.
Especially in an airport. I bet it's so bad. Like, just there are probably so many freaking scammers there, because you have all these travelers that are just passing through, and they have some level of money too, right? Because they have they've got plane tickets.
Yeah, I don't even use fucking like a guest Wi-Fi and shit at the airport. I don't even use that shit.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Get some guy with a pineapple trying to get all your information.
Right. Oh yeah. Yep. Scammers, they're fucking shitty.
Sluts.
Fucking pieces of shit, man.
Goddamn trash.
There's a YouTube channel where this guy he fucking gets people's money back. I can't remember the name of it. But he actually like he.
Oh, the guy who fucks with scammers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how he does it.
That's always that's always fun to watch. I mean, and kind of the sad thing too is like these scammers, like they have like, because they're in like a really shitty situation in fucking India or wherever. They're getting paid like commission on how many Americans they can scam, and it's not good.
I'm sorry. Taking a job to try to defraud somebody. I have no sympathy for you.
Right. Yeah.
No. Right. But they could also be in countries where they're like, fuck those goddamn American colonizers.
Right. Yeah. Well, they probably think like, yeah, they're Americans. They have golden chariots or whatever. I don't know what.
Yeah.
what they think. All right. Ashtray. Don't string your lady around and then decide to respond because Ashtray has entered the story.
Yeah, this is just one of these
I better crack another beer for this.
Scenarios where no, I'll keep her short. But basically it was just
I'm cracking it anyway.
The other night at the bar where, lady friend of mine who was complaining about another dude who, we all know, part of social circles, but they were basically stringing them along like, oh, yeah, I'm heading towards your apartment. Well, that was like 2 hours prior to where she's like, fuck it. I'm going down to the bar and, no response. And then so I was like, you know what? Just take a picture of me and send a picture of Ashtray to him and be like, Ashtray's saying like the fuck. So I just did this kind of like the fuck, dude.
Oh.
All of a sudden. Sorry.
Man,
my phone was
bait.
in my bag. She's like, God damn it. She then got mad. He responds because you're here. And then I was like, no, this ain't about me. I was like, this ain't about me, but you tell him I'm going to be gone before he gets here. But it's like, really what it is he knows that I know that he's fucking jerking you around and been like talking about he's coming over to hang out for the last 3 hours or whatever. But so yeah, don't string your ladies around. And they start sending you pictures of me. And then be like, I didn't have my phone. It was in my bags. I was like,
you could almost start up like a service. You could be like, hey, ladies, is your man stringing you along?
Yeah, is your man fucking around not paying attention to you enough? Here, like I could make loaded photos of me kind of being like, what the fuck? Like, oh shit, Ashtray's there. Oh yeah, I'm coming. I will be on my way.
All right.
LLC then. All right.
There you have it.
Don't fucking string your ladies around.
In all seriousness, go fuck yourself, Batman Turkey.
I thought it was Yum Yum.
What? Oh, no, Yum Yum. I didn't want to pick on Yum Yum.
I don't even know who Yum Yum is.
So apparently Yum Yum is a place in Tennessee that Teddy's never heard of.
I'm gonna see where his bitch is. I'm gonna see where.
But there is a
Sounds like
Batman Turkey as well.
Like an Asian restaurant, Yum Yum.
That's our show. We're going to be here every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Central. Make sure you join the conversation at theredeyereport.com or facebook.com/redeyereport. Like us, share us, or fuck us. We're down for whatever. I'm Oracle.
This is the Ashtray.
I missed it.
And I'm Teddy. We won't be here next week.
Oh, what's going on?
I guess we're not going to be here next week.
No, my cruise is next week.
You cruising? Oh,
fuck.
shit.
You're going to the island, right?
That
no,
means
we're not going. No, we're not going. We're not going to Haiti. Remember that was my.
Yeah, don't go to fucking Haiti, dude. They're killing people. They set those people on fire.
I know that, buddy. Okay? I was hoping these niggas would calm down after a while, but they have not yet. They still wild. But yeah.
All right, so yeah, we won't be here next week.
Yeah, right.
We'll be here in 2 weeks,
We'll
hopefully, and hopefully Teddy will be in one fucking piece.
We're not going to Haiti, goddamn it.
You going near it though?